Hi, I'm Ranpuria and I am running for the position of President in the Glasgow University Union this 5th of March.
So your manifesto offers a lot of short-term solutions. Is there anything you intend to do that might affect the structure and running of the GUU in the long term?
So one of the main things that are purely long-term that I see that in the manifesto is regarding the website and the online membership side of stuff. So the online I feel like I haven't been clear enough in the manifesto, but the online membership stuff links into the website. So the current president has started working on the website, and basically the proposal needs to be like, okay, done, and the website's basically going to go into work, and it most likely will happen this year. So once that comes into place, I want to add an extra layer of online membership. So it will have two aspects to it. The first one is people can fill out their details online and then they can come collect a card, and then I will look into how we can make online membership like with incentives and perks. So like you can just go on the website, put your membership number in, or like check your points or like what's going on and stuff like that. I think it comes with like the long-term modernization, and I think that is the only aspect that I am focusing on in terms of long-term wise, because I feel like the union needs to step it up in terms of modernization, but that is the basis of it. So I'm working from what is kind of the groundwork has been put in mostly off, but yeah, others are fairly short-term.
So establishing the union as more than just hive and beer bar seems to be of intense importance for like candidates running for all sorts of positions this year.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you intend to maintain footfall as the opening of the James McCune Smith Learning and Teaching Hub draws students away from your end of campus?
Yeah, I think we need to start being slightly more student friendly. I think if we want to maintain the idea of GUU as not just staying hive and not just being a nightclub, I am very, very keen on pushing the areas that we have within the union, i.e. the two libraries, billiards, all these places. I think we need constant PR of these places. And in terms of the kitchen, I love the food, and I think just getting student deals out and highly PRing it, I feel like we genuinely lack sometimes in terms of putting the word out there. So I feel like if we push that, if we make our deals more student friendly, and if we PR enough throughout campus, I feel like it will be little steps towards combating what is about to come and what is big. But of course, I think first we have to wait and see how it is affected. But from now, as of we can plan, making it more student friendly, perhaps making it slightly more cheaper.
So the GUU is the only student body that still hand counts ballots and doesn't allow the reopening of nominations. Do you believe that the GUU has a democracy problem?
I wouldn't say it's a democracy problem. I think the fact that people have to physically come into the building and vote is a good thing, and I'll tell you why. I think some student bodies such as GUU and SRC, they're very large-scale bodies. They cover a lot of ground. The GUU is very specific in the sense that people who are involved in the committees, the people who are involved in the board, are the people who come in every single day and run that building. I feel like when it is physical, or when people have to come into the building to vote, it shows that people care. People have to look out, people have to make an effort, and hence why when they come in, they will care about the people who are in that building, and they would have cared enough to go to hustings watching and see these things. And I feel that's why physical voting is better. I know turnout not that great, doesn't necessarily represent a lot of students on campus, but I think that can be worked upon. But I think that just comes with the overall modernization and pushing the union towards more PR and making it more visible. But yeah, I think the fact that elections are so contested this year definitely shows that people are starting to care more. So yeah, I think physical voting is not a democracy problem. It's just people like us not PRing enough and us not putting ourselves out there that much. But it shows that people care, and that's a nice thing to have.
So the union hosts several club nights now, be it Thursday and Saturday Hive or your big like all-day events. So we've got St Patrick's Day, the ones we run at the end of the year. So on social media forums, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the treatment of vulnerable drunk people on the part of the GUU. Is there anything you intend to review or implement that would improve safety and security for students on nights out?
Yeah, so one of my manifesto points is that I want to review our disciplinary procedures. We have started reviewing them, however the board is changing, so the people will be changing. I want to continue that process, and what I want to do is two things. I want to go through it, speak to other student bodies, see what they have to say. I want to make sure it's well written, it's easy to understand, and I want to put that in an A5 leaflet or whatever. And on the night, if anyone feels that they're not being treated well, I want them to know their rights and what will happen if they decide to take steps for it. So when and where something happens, they know what they're dealing with and what rights they have as to how they can deal with it. And secondly, I want to make it prominent on social media. Have infographics, tell people what everything's about, tell people what duty board is. Like, a lot of people don't know that we're students just as them and we're doing this work. So I think it's just about making people understand what it is and making sure that it's accessible and people know their rights and how they can like tackle if they want to deal with it. Yeah.
How would you respond to the challenge that GUU entrance prices and drinks prices are incredibly high in comparison to student nights in town, and this might be hindering student experience for some? And is there anything you intend to do to improve this?
In terms of drink prices, I think a pint of fun has been the same price for a long, long time. I think in terms of hindering students, I think GUU offers a different experience to clubs in town. I think the fact that you can walk into the GUU and you just don't have this ground floor nightclub, beer bar region. If you want a chilled space, you want to relax, you can go up to billiards and it's not as loud. If you want to take a moment or two, you have duty board. I think you don't get these things in town, or like going into another club just as much. And also, I think the aspect of just being on campus and bumping into your friends, I don't think money can equate to that experience at all. In terms of tackling, of course it wouldn't be my sole decision. It is the board of management that runs the building. If I do feel at some points that it is getting a bit too much, I will consider it. I will not shut that avenue of reconsidering our prices, but it would not be my so it is a board of management and there are 17 of us who make the decision, and it would be a bit unfair if I was like, to do that. But yeah, it's a students' union at the end of the day. Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
So arguably one of the most important questions to student body, under your leadership, what would the cost of a pint of fun look like, and is there any chance we'll be getting tenants in the beer bar?
I'm not going to make false promises. I'm not going to promise things that I don't know that I'll be able to do. I want students, like whatever I promise by the end of my term or by the end of 2 years, I would want that done. I'm not going to say that, I will reduce the price of pints of fun. I can look into it if there is high demand of what we can do about it. But I'm not going to promise the fact that I can do that, because I think it's very unfair and I think you're betraying people's trust, and that's not a good thing. I think for me, my priority in the union right now is making it more accessible and making it more friendly and developing it as a new, like having the traditionality of it but making it new and making this place on campus that's constantly bustling. But yeah, I'm not going to promise that I can do that, but if a lot of people, and tenants, in terms of tenants, again, I can look into it, but I can't promise it. But if there's enough momentum, why not? I can ask. There's no harm in asking and researching and seeing what I can do about it, but no promises.